What's up, guys? 30 minutes later and a whole bottle of lighter fluid, I was able to start a fire. I'm with my teammate Grizz.
Yeah, what's up?
We're basically going to discuss the last 6 months of our team. You know, our team was created at the beginning of this year, and perhaps we can shed some light on some things you guys are interested in.
I give you a little bit more of a outlook on what we're doing.
Some things maybe you don't get to hear through regular social media stuff in Counter-Strike. Grizz loves to talk. Grizz loves to give his outlook. I love to talk about CS. I do not like to start fires. I learned that about 5 minutes ago. So it's January of this year. Chop and I were been playing with, a handful of different players. Our careers are basically in turmoil. And what I mean by that is we're really unable to practice consistently or play matches consistently with the same five. And we're in a scramble to kind of figure out what's going on. We have no idea what's going on. We don't know if we're gonna be able to keep our roster because you need 3 people according to the rules, and then Chop and I are 2 people. Though I think Chop's good enough to be 2 people.
I used to chop. Now I slice time itself.
So yeah, we're scrambling around, we're scattered, we're kind of trying to figure out just to find people to play with. We're not even expecting an organization or some crazy achievement in a short period of time. We're scrambling to find people, and we come across Minus, and he has this whole plan. We figured out Grizz was in the picture. And when I got to meet Grizz, it was kind of cool because right before I got to meet Grizz as a teammate, I met him in passing at Kansas City.
Yeah, I remember that. Kansas City was, I got to meet a lot of new people at that LAN, and I'm glad Ian was one of them.
Yeah, Grizz, when I met you at Kansas City and I saw you walking up to me with that big smile, I was surrounded by a bunch of people I don't particularly care for. You were definitely the light in the room, and I will say confidently in that moment, I wasn't expecting to be your teammate. It was kind of cool to make the connection a month or 2 later in the team speak when we were trying to make our team.
Yeah, I agree completely. I'm very happy that, regardless of the team situation and meeting in person beforehand, like you said, they got to connect, and that connection brewed into something greater, in my opinion. Very big W's in the chat, if you would.
Once we were finally able to put pen to paper and kind of solidify our 5, we started filling out spots, spots on the map, kind of figure out where everyone wants to play. And when I came into that spot sheet, man, right before even the first practice started, I kind of filled out a lot of maps at ease, and then it came to Anubis. And I was looking around at my teammates, and I see 2 young players, I see an Opper, and I see a hard anchor and Chop. And I'm like, I play middle, but I'm not even gonna write that down. I'm writing E-box, because I know none of the youngins want to sit there in E-box, exchange grenades, take hard fights, and get pooped on. I think what helped us on the B bomb site when I was playing in E-box was actually our introduction to each other. I felt like I had such a positive interaction with Grizz that when we went to the practice and say we were getting pooped on, dragon bag, teabag, I felt more confident in him. I knew he respected me and my knowledge and my tenure, and I knew he was a good guy, and he was able to take, whatever kind of feedback he needs to improve. But going to the practice is absolutely terrible. We're getting owned at the B bomb site. We were thrown in the fire. We were trying to figure it out. And I think it speaks volumes to the kind of teammate Grizz is and who I am as a player, that we were able to improve so much in that time. What do you think, Grizz?
Yeah, I actually wanted to say the opposite of what you were kind of saying, is having you as a teammate in E-box with, somebody who has tenure and has experience and knows constantly how to play their spots. Having you as my teammate in that position gave me a lot more confidence to know I had somebody to fall back on, or have somebody that has my back in the bomb site, because to be quite honest, B site is fucking hard. And like you said, we were getting pooped on. We were struggling. We were stinking up the B bomb site together.
Stinking up the whole map, brother. E-box was the toilet, and I was getting flushed down, bro.
Oh yeah, I was getting frustrated because nothing was working, and felt like at times we were making good choices, and then other times I'm like, dude, what the fuck is happening, man? Individually, I know I can hang regardless of what day it is, but having somebody who can teach me and kind of mentor and guide that helped me, at least spots where I played with him, that helped me feel a lot more comfortable knowing that both of us know what's going on between each other, and we can just kind of play. And then after playing and, hey, something went wrong, or hey, this wasn't right, we can discuss after the fact and be able to just solve the problem and not let it fester and become either a bigger problem or let that problem go unsolved, which is not okay.
I mean, Grizz knows this by now, but I'm a very hands-on person. When something goes wrong, I want to figure it out. And I'm the type of person where if I don't feel the effort is being made to improve something, it will frustrate me over time. When I show up and want to play, I want to get better. And if I don't feel like we're getting better, or we're not taking advantage of the little time we have, then I get frustrated. But I don't want to take that frustration out on my teammates. I always try to use that as a positive driving force to get better. Having the energy to do so and having the confidence in each other to improve is huge, because after we were able to get a little bit of practice on the maps, but the confidence in each other and the ability to learn and using the energy to learn is super important for the scenario we found ourselves in as a team. After we were able to get a few weeks of practice, and we were flooded, absolutely slammed with a bunch of tournaments back to back to back for months. And I don't think we were able to have a full week of practice for like 3 months, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, it was rough.
The confidence we have in each other and the energy we have, the positive energy, had to come together in order for us to improve without having time aside to practice. In a scrim where, you know, the result doesn't matter and we can just kind of review and have it set right for the matches, we kind of had to play the matches, review, fix it, and then showcase that in the next match.
It's like, speaking about going into that long spree of tournaments, like I just want to talk for myself personally. Like, I would say in the team's tenure overall throughout the whole period that we've played, I felt like we were playing the best free-flowing Counter-Strike we could have against some of the best teams. And like, I was personally brewing with confidence. I felt like our team could at any moment take any of the like top teams down, cut off a head of a Hydra, become that next head. Like, it felt like at that moment when we were starting to get into those matches and playing the officials, it really showed to at least myself that all these people that we're playing against are the same people they always been. Nothing's really changed. Now we just have this brand new opportunity, and it's time to show everybody that, you know, what Marsborne's made of. And I was just, like I said, brewing with confidence playing in those first, 3 months or 2.5 months of just tournament after tournament. And
yeah, I mean, we came pretty close to beating M80, right? I think on 2 different occasions.
Oh yeah.
And then that was the beginning of the rivalry with Blue Jays, where we kind of exchanged series back and forth. I'd say that is still the case to this day. And I think we may have had 1 series, maybe 2 versus Wild Card. Those were not as pretty, but
yeah, we had winning moments in like 1 or 2 of those maps, but it's just hard when,
Yeah, exactly. Like, how are we supposed to, the team, they're ranked better than us. All their players have longer tenure than us. And that's even coming from me. I've been playing for 10 years. When we're giving our best, but we have nothing else to fall back on. Let's say a set strategy we're really confident in getting us around on, or protocols for when, hey, we see they're doing something, this is our reaction to it, so it's seamless. Like, we had none of that. It was kind of just, okay, we're gonna work on the fundamentals, and as we experience things, we'll review them and address them. And that got us pretty far.
Yeah, 100%. Like, highlighting the fundamentals with this team was definitely the most important thing, I think, for somebody like me as a younger player, because playing fundamentally correct is something that I feel like a lot of people struggle with, myself included. And, having Wolfie and Lucid just giving us that guiding light of how to play fundamentally correct and how to continuously apply that to our play, and not even just our gameplay, but to ourselves as people, definitely helped, at least with me, to get more comfortable and feel more at home with the team.
I think, Grizz, what you said is accurate, where you needed to work on your fundamentals. I think it's a case for all of us on the team. It was a concoction of young players and a little bit older players, but a theme throughout the team was several of us were on break, and that kind of left us behind in the meta and unrefreshed on the fundamentals. And coming close to beating these teams after practicing those things, seeing your hard work actually get somewhere, it definitely gave us a lot of inspiration and confidence going into the MRQ. We felt like we had a really good chance. I think even looking back, we feel that was a chance, an opportunity that was missed, huh, Grizz?
That definitely was, in my opinion, one of the most heartbreaking tournaments I've ever played as a player, because not only being so close against Blue Jays, but just that whole tournament, I felt like every series was within our grasp, and we had the opportunity to seize it, and we fumbled in the most crucial moments, and we didn't execute when we needed to. And that's really when I would say, me as a player, I am most frustrated and honestly most heartbroken, is when the matches that we gotta win and we gotta show up, and everyone tries their best to show up, but it's not enough. That's just the most gut-wrenching feeling as a person and a player you can have, and it's nothing to be proud of. There's nothing to be happy about. Like you just sit there in sorrow. And yeah, that whole MRQ was gut wrenching, knowing that we had so many good opportunities against Blue Jays, against Wild Card, against anyone. We could have played anybody, and we could have, any result could have been different. We could have been at the major right now. Maybe not stage 3, like calm down, but
I'm gonna say, I'll say that, like, if we don't make the easy fundamental mistakes we make in the series with Blue Jays, there's a very good chance that we could have been at the major. I think what made us kind of sulk and have some sorrow about it more than we usually would was that the reason we lost was a lot of the fundamental things that we knew that we had to improve on, and we had to like hammer home. And when you lose because of that and you just watch it back, you're like, we couldn't get better for the most pivotal moment.
Yeah, and like you said, building upon the team style and having our own identity, not as like, hey, we want to be like Falcons or Vitality. We want to play like Marsborne. We want to play like these teams that are playing in the meta, but we're going into these practices knowing like we have our brand of Counter-Strike we want to play. It's felt kind of night and day recently in practices. Like I felt a lot more cohesion with one another, more on the same page, and the togetherness is definitely there. And that's the next layer of what we need as a team is the cohesion and the,
Dude, yeah, we're playing versus like FaZe, Falcons, Lin Vision, all these guys, and we're doing pretty solid. We're not stomping, but we're not getting shit on. A lot of our games have been tied 12-12. What's kind of cool about playing these teams after, the MRQ and, after the MRQ, we make the roster move with deciding to move on from minus. In these games, you can kind of see that I think all 5 of us are hungry to never lose for the same reason we did in the MRQ, to play good fundamental team CS and kind of just flow and move and be on the same page. And if we're not on the same page, we're giving 100% effort to get on that same page. In the scrims, it feels like we're playing a whole different style of CS. It's a big thing in our team. I think with this version of our team, I say version because we did have to move on from minus. I think with this version of the team, it's changed the roles and put people in positions, especially myself. I can control more of the game because my responsibility within Marsborne when we are playing CS, we're in the middle of a match, is I'm the entry fragger, but I'm also like the second caller, the mid-round guy. And I was playing a support role with Marshall, and Marshall was playing more of the entry, and I've always been an entry. So I was trying to help Marshall in whatever way I could. Whereas now I'm in these positions, I can see things, I can react quicker, I can make reactionary calls quicker. And the number one thing for me is I'm able to teach and learn, because I've been playing for 10 years and I want to share the knowledge. I want to spread the knowledge. And I kind of want to pick up where I left off from CSGO. In CSGO, I was always playing the entry, and then I come in CS2 and I get on my first super serious team, and I'm playing as a support player. That's not where my experience is. That's not where my wealth of knowledge is. So this change kind of helped me a lot, and it helped me help the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now, in my opinion, with the stage we're at is, hey, we have this side not fully hammered home with the fundamentals, but we have this down to a good enough point to put on the back burner. Now let's try and focus on playing good Counter-Strike, being on the same page, playing the same identity with so everybody knows what's going on. Like it definitely feels like we're moving in the right direction of practice and just playing as a team. Like I said, it feels very different than a couple months ago.
The team scratches my back, I will scratch theirs. Your camera died?
Yeah, my camera just got exhausted and died.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up then. I'll finish this last topic. But yeah, my team, just thank you for allowing me to be a part of this project. It's changed my life again. It's made it easier to live, and it's a lot easier to live when you get to do what you want every day. And that is not able to happen without being surrounded with great people who have a similar outlook and aspirations to you. Guys, this has been a bonfire talk with Grizz and Man of the Match. We have been a team for 6 months, and we kind of wanted to summarize our experience so far. I hope you guys learned a little bit about us and learned a bit about our journey. If you guys have any questions you'd like us to answer maybe next time, please leave them in the comments. Follow us on X, subscribe on the YouTube. When the season starts back up, we will be streaming every Friday on the Twitch channel named Marsborne Gaming. Thank you guys so much. I am very happy to be able to play Counter-Strike. as a career. And I can't stress it enough that the people within Marsborne all deserve the opportunity they're getting, and there is no doubt in my mind that we will achieve it in due time. Thank you very much. Love you guys.